Yo, 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 what's going on, my brother? How you been?
Was good.
All right, don't stop it. I told you, you can't say what's good in a fucking runner sweater that's stopped by Whole Foods. Okay, just,
Whatever.
just want to say that
I damn well please.
you look like the fucking guy who has like the AirPods on running, and the wife calls him like, "Huh? You want me to get milk?" But babe, I'm running.
Uh,
Just, uh, so on today's show, we're gonna be recapping UFC 260. I'm gonna be trying a new bourbon. It's gonna be Old Forester 1920. Another recommendation from Matt Whiskey. That's the nickname. That's what he is. And one day we're gonna have him on the show when our schedules line up. And we are going to be talking about my new binge show, Queen of the South. John, what you gonna be talking about?
play the
I'm
intro.
not gonna hit the intro. I'm actually gonna let you
Play the intro.
Don't say that. Don't say that like you're in charge.
Roll it.
That's just a little rude. Yo, what are you doing right now?
The big V. Look, man.
All right, man. Let's just jump right into this shit. So,
I made my
Why
wife
you
wake
too
up and
damn well?
drive me there anyway.
you,
Es a major.
¿Qué pasa con eso? ¿Qué pasa con
Habla
español?
español. ¿Qué pasó, papá? ¿Cómo estás? Any questions?
Now, when you bought that sweater, right? You just go, fuck it. I'm going full Mr. Rogers. You've tuned into the Man Chatter podcast. Ah, shit, we back, man. I don't appreciate you catching on to the fact that I was gonna cut you off with the intro. That's disrespectful. All right, I got a thing I do here. I try to keep it in that thing. All right. Hey, man, what's going on with you, man? We were talking about something right before I hit live and record, and I was like, "Yo, save it for the show," because
Let me
let's just
start
have a
by
real ass.
saying. Yeah. Let me start by saying we had Korean barbecue today.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Delicious.
Right.
I just find it funny that we went to have Korean barbecue. After that, we went to the Asian
And all
store and bought some some bao,
Right.
buns, pork buns, whatever you want to call them.
Thank you, because nobody knew what that was.
Yeah. And then
Appreciate that.
afterwards,
Yeah.
we went to a Vietnamese restaurant to order Thai coffee. Think about that one for a second.
Wow. Okay. Vietnamese restaurant to order Thai coffee.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Now, why would you go to? Yeah. No, I'm real quick. I'm trying not to be ignorant, right? And if anybody's listening, Vietnamese are not Thai. So how does that? Okay, John, stop doing that. There you go. At least be centered and not make it look like you're just floating off into the fucking future. So why did you go to two different restaurants? Is that you don't like the coffee at the Korean barbecue? They don't have coffee at the Korean barbecue?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't even ask, but I looked at their menu and their beverages. It was all food, like 6 pages worth of food. And then the bag had a
Right.
couple beverages, but I think it's just soda and water and maybe, like barley tea or something like that. So
Okay.
they don't really have that kind of coffee. But there's no Thai place. So this Vietnamese place by the house just happens to have, Thai iced tea and Thai
Like
coffee. Yeah.
What's Thai
But
coffee?
I wonder how they feel about selling that. They're a Vietnamese restaurant, and I know, and they probably have
Yeah.
Mexicans in the back in the kitchen too. Just saying.
Yeah.
So I guess they can't feel
like
too
like
bad.
Joe
selling-
Coy, like Joe Coy says, it's Jose that makes the orange chicken.
Yeah,
in his stand up. That's some rich. Yeah, that's 100% true. Are you Filipino? Oh man, I need you to listen to that book, bro. I need you to listen to that Joe Coy book. That shit is hilarious, man. But yeah, tell you a little wild shit about what's going on over here, man. We're being infested with caterpillars. So for some reason, we have like 6 weeks at the middle of March to about, I want to say like end of April, where caterpillars just start fucking dropping everywhere because all our trees and shit.
Right.
They turn into moth and turn into butterflies. Depending on the fucking kind of. I don't fucking know. Depending on the kind of caterpillar. So, dude, and they're fucking everywhere, and they sneak up on you. Like if we walk outside and there won't be a cloud in the sky, it sounds like it's raining. Like that's how many are fucking falling, dude. It has to be in the hundreds of millions. Like it does. Like, and I mean, you think of all our trees, right? and for it to be like audible where we're hearing that shit, it's fucking ridiculous, man. Like walk outside, me and Mel always got to check ourselves, make sure no caterpillars landed in our hair. Like the other day, a caterpillar was like on my pants. Like while I was sitting here, I was like, "Where the fuck did you come from?" They'll sneak in through everywhere. It's just fucking, it's insane, dude. It's absolutely insane.
I think you were talking
Like our
about
tires
the
will
same
be
thing last year.
Yeah, but this one feels worse. Like I guess recency bias is probably a thing with that. But like our cars will be parked, and like 10, 15 minutes later, the tires will be fucking swarmed with caterpillars. I guess for some reason they want to be on rubber or the heat. I don't fucking know.
Well, speaking of that, I was reading something came across my feed that there's this thing called the Brood X for cicadas. There's supposed to be billions of cicadas out this spring. They come out every 17 years, and it just so happens that like Pennywise the Clown, I guess, or they're coming out. This is the year. I thought it was trillions, but it says I pulled up an article just now. But yeah, billions of cicadas, and those things. I mean, they're loud. They don't survive. They're out to mate, and then they don't live very long.
Die
just to mate and give birth to the next generation.
On 17,
and I think we're gonna miss it because it's somewhere in Tennessee, Kentucky, other parts of the country, maybe some parts of Ohio. Hopefully not here, but those things are loud. I mean, it's like being in a football game. You know how they take the measurement? It's over 100 decibels. So that would be a pain in the ass to just hear that shit all day for whatever 1 month, 3 weeks, whatever it is.
Dude, I think we get cicadas down here. Yeah, I think we get cicadas down here because I remember it being quite loud. So I'm looking forward to that too. After this caterpillar debacle, we have caterpillars. We have love bugs that come out for like a 3-week period in April.
Oh, we got those too.
And, bro, they're the fucking worst. They ruin your hood. Dude, they're all over your windshield, and you can't use the windshield wiper. Like you have to like get out and wash it at the yeah. Oh, you'll smear them and then you can't see shit. It's the fucking worst. I did not think we were gonna have a conversation about bugs at the beginning of this.
Over here they call them Canadian soldiers. I think they're mayflies or whatever they are. But yeah, they come out and
why do they call them Canadian soldiers? Swarms
because
everywhere,
right,
and they're like
there, next to Canada. I don't know.
Yeah, they're like attached at the asshole.
They want to fuck everything.
Like weird. Like they don't. Yeah, they don't know which way. They don't know which way to go and shit. It's fucking wild, man.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. Yeah, but that's been like the biggest thing. Oh, and today I smoked something new. So as living in the country like I do, right? We have to take our trash to the dump. It's cheaper to do it that way than paying a garbage man to come out. And it's like an independent garbage man, like they show up when they show up type shit.
Yeah.
So we take out our own trash. So I made friends with the garbage man, right? I see him like probably twice a week. And he's a big smoker, right? Not cigarettes, but like meats. He smokes meats. He has like 7 smokers. I didn't know you could have 7 fucking smokers. I didn't know that was a thing that was possible. You could only cook one at a time. How many fucking people do you know? You know what I mean? Where all of them are going. But he told me about some shit called it's very tongue twisting. It's beer can, bacon, burger bowls. I think I said that right. Beer can, bacon, burger bowls. Right? So what you do is you get a beer can or a soda can, right? Whatever the fuck you drink. You ball up the meat. You smash the meat with the beer can in the middle, almost like a donut. And then you wrap the meat like a vase around the can, right? To make it like a bowl. Then you wrap 2 strips of bacon around the meat. This is the simplest way to explain it, right? Super easy. Wrap 2 strips of bacon around the meat. Then you have the bowl. You take out the can. And then in the middle, right, in the stuffing, it's almost like a stuffed pepper. If you've ever made one, you add the meat. You add like different veggies. I added for me like mushrooms, broccoli, and onions, and some cauliflower, just to get like almost like veggies with my meat type of shit. Dude, it was fucking delicious. I smoked it for an hour and 10 minutes at 300 on my smoker. It came out delicious. I made 3. I ate 2 today, 1 for breakfast, 1 for lunch, 1 for dinner, and then Mel only had 1. But for her I used turkey bacon, and I thought it wouldn't be as well, but she said she really liked it. So do this; it's really good. Highly recommend it. It's really easy to prep time and cook time, probably an hour and a half.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all. But I would say cook the veggies and cook all the stuff that's going in it first,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you add it on, which we were a little like iffy on, like why am I adding like cooked veggies or cooked whatever to raw meat? But it works out well because it all smokes together.
Mm-hmm.
So it ended up being really good and juicy, man. I'd highly recommend this. Really easy to do. And it could be like a meal prep. You can make 5, you know what I mean? You could have it every day. Obviously, you could make it on a smaller scale. Because mine were probably, I don't know, probably half a pound. Because it was like, we made like 5. So they were pretty big. Because like to get it wrapped up and because I never done it before. I'm sure you can make it thinner. Yeah. We didn't use the right, I think we should have used one with like 73% fat when we should have been one with like a higher lean content. It was like 73% lean. It should have been like 80 something.
All right,
so that makes it taste different. Yeah, like 85. So I have
to give it a shot, man. Especially if I'm going to go through the whole process of smoking, I'm going to make sure I make more than just a handful.
Yeah,
that in itself is a process, setting up and then cleaning that afterwards and all that.
Oh, it's a beast, dude. The worst thing is like like cleaning it. Like I vacuum it out. Like I vacuum out the bowl because it's impossible to like get all the dust and ash and shit that's in there. So I vacuum it out. I still wipe it down with a towel because I was watching a thing on YouTube where it says like if you don't clean it out constantly, or at least like every 2 cooks, like never try to go 3 or 4, is because all the grease and everything builds up and it like explode. Not like you're gonna like, it could blow out the bottom of the thing, you know what I mean? Because it doesn't get that hot, but like it'll ruin your fucking smoker and you're done.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. It's definitely good. I'll send you the YouTube link. I think I did. I got the recipe from Barbecue Pit Boys. There's like these older white dudes that like cook a bunch of shit. So it was pretty.
Then
dope.
I trust them. Older white dudes that cook a bunch of shit. I think it's gonna come out right.
With a ZZ Top beard, if you guys know who ZZ Top is, like the long ass white beard.
They live in Kentucky or West Virginia, somewhere in the mountains.
There's definitely mountain. It's definitely a mountainous landscape, and they were smoking it in the snow. Like you see snow all around. The motherfucker has like his sleeves rolled up. He has like they were cooking everything outside.
All right, it's legit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, it's 100% legit. I mean, I'm about to crack open this 1920. It's time to talk some bourbon.
Some of this Old Forester signature. This is 100 proof.
Yeah, man. All right, so I'm thankful that you did this last time. I'm not gonna say vanilla. I'm not gonna say it hints of vanilla, but if you wanted to pull up the screen here after, it says the aroma is rich and powerful. Dark fruit, burnt brown sugar, chocolate, and a hint of bananas make up the components. Not surprising for the proof. It tingles the nostrils with a trace of ethanol. It's a nice aroma overall and can be easily described as unique relative to other bourbons. Yeah, you definitely smell the banana. All right. Let's see here.
Let's see. I'm going to bring it up. And I'll zoom in just a little bit.
Because I'm blind. All right. I read the nose part.
Whoa, it's a little much. I think that's good. You read that? How about the palate? Tell me about the palate.
I'm gonna tell you about the palate right now, son. I'm gonna tell you about this is like a play-by-play. All right, so it says it's big and bold and immediately likable. Wow, that's all right. Let's see. First taste, Old Forester 1920 Prohibition style. So far, yes. God damn, that's good. Okay. All right. So it says the richness of the barrel, char, and dark chocolate play against the sweetness of caramel and cream brulee. God damn. I didn't know all this stuff went into a bourbon. If I'm being honest. There's a nuttiness to it as well, along with the smokiness and a hint of coffee. Yeah, you definitely feel it at the back end with the coffee. The taste is reminiscent of the better Old Forester birthday bourbons I've had, but admittedly more pronounced and, to put it bluntly, better than I remember. Allspice and black pepper pop initially. God damn. Dude, think about all this stuff that goes into a bourbon. This is insane. They quickly dissipate and leave a long lingering finish without further introduction of new flavors. But a pleasing end to those introduced on the palate. Dark chocolate, barrel char, and that nuttiness are the most prominent. It's a nice finish, plain and simple. So I'll tell you, as far like comparing it off memory, right, to like the Eagle Rare and the Buffalo Trace that I've been having, it definitely leaves a lingering taste. Best way to say it, in the like at the back of my throat. Like there's definitely like a fuller taste. This sounds weird, very weird to say like that. But if it
You're the one
definitely
that's
feels like
talking
a
about
fuller taste.
you like the fuller taste in the back of your throat. We know that. Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm saying, and this is what it is. But yeah, man, you could definitely taste the dark chocolate. Like it tastes like, you know how like dark chocolate tends to like have that bitter taste sometimes. Like if you go like depending on the grade of dark chocolate, like it definitely has that, but it's not like that like 100% dark chocolate type shit.
Why am I not surprised that you like the lingering taste in the back of your throat of dark chocolate and nuttiness?
Yeah,
that's you.
That's what it is. And banana, right? There's banana in there too, and the allspice and black pepper. Dude,
Leave
like
it
I
to you
didn't
to
know
remember the banana, of course.
Dude, like let me ask you, how the fuck is somebody's palate so refined that they could pick all that up? Like I can taste some of that because it was said, but I couldn't tell you. I couldn't break it down like that. That's a talent, man. That's a hell of a fucking palate.
It's a talent, but it's also it's I think along the same lines of people that are wine snobs. Not necessarily a sommelier, right? A sommelier that's what they do, but and there are people that I watched a documentary about people that were studying to become sommeliers and the rigorous, exam and
there's a movie on Netflix about that. Yeah,
it could have been a movie or like a multi-part docu series. I don't remember, but it's crazy how many levels of this stuff they go through and for the testing. But for like a regular person to be like, oh, there's the bullshit I was saying the other day, there's notes of vanilla, but you can actually like if you smell it though, you could pick that up. Now all this other detail I couldn't pick it up, but I think that's just like the people in that world that if you go to a bar and they're like, they're at the bar saying all this bullshit, I'm like, okay, I get it. It's this club of like, look at me, I can do this, look how refined and cultured I am. Like, just drink your fucking bourbon, dude.
But how the fuck do you pick up the difference between? And look, I'm not shitting on it. I'm congratulating. I can't do it. I don't have that kind of palate, right? But allspice and black pepper. How the fuck? Like, isn't black pepper in allspice? Because it's all spices, right? Like it's in the title. So how is it all an addition to black pepper? They quickly dissipate. I don't know, but. Our first taste, right? Not just the complete glass. I had 2 sips of it, 2 solid sips. I still put it behind Eagle Rare. It's just, this is gonna be a word I never thought I'd say. It's a little bit too much. It's a little bit too thick. If you understand, like it's. I know.
You don't like them that thick.
I know. I don't like this is too much. This isn't like an obese, you know what I mean? But it's just like, okay, this isn't, I don't know. Like it's good. But again, I'm comparing it. I'm a junior bourbon snob, right? Like I'm very, very low on the level of what it all means and how to break it all down. But I'm just going off like my taste and my palate. I still put Eagle Rare because it's a little bit smoother.
Yeah.
But I think this one is a higher proof. So
well,
this
I was
one
about to say that,
definitely it definitely leaves you with like the understanding of like, hey man, let's slow down because I also feel like the burning in the back, like right here, like my esophagus, I also feel that a little bit more pronounced than I typically do. So
I bet it's 115 proof, or is it 120? The site says 115. I thought it was 120, but yeah, I mean it's we've been drinking 80, right, or 90.
Yeah,
and I don't know what Eagle Rare is. Then this Old Forester that I popped open on Thursday is 100 proof. So this is a little bit more. This is a signature series.
We got a comment here from Ken Wallace. Appreciate you watching, man. So allspice isn't all spices. It's a single spice made from one single plant, and that happens to taste like a bunch of things combined. Hence the name. All right, look at us learning something on live. Thanks, Ken. Appreciate that, man. If you got any more to add about bourbons or your thoughts on Old Forester 1920, please let us know. Like I said, right now, we're novices in this bourbon game, right? But so far for me, my top 3 are Eagle Rare, Buffalo Trace, and Old Forester. But Old Forester can overtake Buffalo Trace, but it's a different taste than what it's been. You know what I'm saying? Like what I've been accustomed to. But I guess it's gonna happen with every other bourbon that I taste, right? Like they're all gonna be made a little bit differently. Like you have the original Old Forester, right? You have
I guess this is like their signature. You know, this is probably what will be put in a lot of mixed drinks at bars and stuff. This is the 100 proof. I think they call it the signature series. And then there's the birthday, like you were reading earlier in the description, right? Like the birthday, they have the 1897, they have the 1920 that I think you have. I've had 1920 before, actually. I've never bought the bottle. I've had 1920 before. That's probably my favorite, but I haven't had Eagle. I haven't had Eagle Rare yet. I haven't had Buffalo Trace. And then I've had all the other ones, like, you know, Maker's Mark and all these other things. Knob Creek, which I think that's the small batch from Jim Beam. I forget who makes that. So that's like the small batch from another major whiskey brand. Knob Creek is good. Knob Creek Rye, I've had that before. And we've talked about this before, right? The difference, like I'm all in on American whiskey. I've tried, you know, Johnny Walker.
I've tried
Irish, and I've tried Scottish. I'm not a Scotch fan. I'm just not a fan of the whiskey from what is it? What's the saying? From across the pond? Yeah,
across the pond. God, you're such a native. Yeah, damn.
Definitely. Definitely a fan of American whiskey for sure.
This is what I'll tell you. Like I've had like 4 or 5 sips now. This is what I'll tell you about Old Forester. It makes me feel like I'm a certified bourbon guy. You know what I'm saying? Like it has that feeling of like, I'm not gonna like discuss the palate, right? But like it makes me feel like I'm finding my place in the bourbon world type of thing. You get what I'm saying? Okay. Like in that way where like I'm starting to understand it better and where I feel more, I guess, like accomplished. You know what I mean? Like not to say that I am, because obviously I don't know what the fuck allspice means. Like our friend Ken here let us know.
Apparently.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Appreciate that, man. I was obviously an ignorant statement, but it makes me feel like when I walk in, like just the sensing of the bourbon. Like it makes me feel when I walk into a room, I know what I'm talking about, even though I don't. Like it gives me that kind of confidence. Does that make sense?
Gotcha. No, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, there's like other versions. Like there was like the 1870. I think there was a 1910, and they were all like in the same row. Yeah. And I couldn't find it because I was like, I figured like it would be like a 1920 would be by itself, and then 1870, 1910. But it was like behind the 1870 and the 1910. So it was like in the row back, not parallel. It was vertical. So I was like, oh, okay. Then the lady came over and helped me. And I did find out at the local liquor store when they get their shipping and like when they get Eagle Rare and stuff like that. But it's rare that they get it. Ken, if you're still watching, man, you got with
my liquor store.
Yeah. You got any tips on what bourbons we should try next? Because that's really what we drink. We're not a gin podcast or a vodka. We're bourbon all day.
I'm not sure that we're a bourbon podcast either. We just happen to drink bourbon while we talk the shit that we talk. But
we talk. We're a bourbon infused podcast. Does that make sense?
I like that, bourbon infused. Your wife must have definitely whispered that shit to you. Your wife must have said that to you. That's not something that you would come up on your own.
Made that up on my own, you son of a bitch. I made that up literally right now. No, but it was good though. That's why you can't give me credit. Woodford Reserve. So I've tried that one too.
It's a classic.
I like that one. It's a solid one. My wife likes to watch baking shows, and they actually baked with bourbon on the show with Woodford Reserve. So I didn't like that one. I think what happened there is I made too big of a leap from those. I think that was the second bourbon I tried past when we tried not to do any more of the Tennessee honey, right? So I think it might have been the leap of that. So I might have to go back and try Woodford Reserve again. Because we started very much so in the kiddie pool, right? If we're being honest.
Absolutely. We started in the cocktail, what is it? We haven't had ice since the umbrella drink of bourbon. We're drinking Tennessee honey.
100%.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. That's the best way to say it. Bourbon infused, motherfucker. That's a good one. Write that down, John. Write that down.
Your wife already
Everything
wrote it
we
down.
talk
She's the one
about,
that gave it to you.
everything we talk about on this podcast is bourbon infused. So no judgments here. Yeah, Ken, I'm definitely gonna try Woodford Reserve again. I have a bottle. I end up buying bottles and like sampling different ones. I think I have like 8 or 9 bottles now, but 3 were a gift, so it's not too bad. But yeah, I mean, you need to find this one. One day we need to offer recommendation. Buy the same bottle and drink it at the same time. Crack it open and have like a reaction to it the way we've done. And not that doesn't mean
I
finish
agree.
one bottle. You know what I'm saying? Like, just we need to add more to the collection. You saw the picture that my friend Matt has for like his fucking bourbon wall.
That's a beautiful setup. Yeah.
That is, oh my god, I instantly wanted a built-in of bourbon. Melanie goes, "We ain't getting that shit. You better. You're not ever drinking that much."
Well, I mean,
But she
they're
also
not
called me a
empty,
bitch.
right? They're full. It's what
They're
you're doing.
full.
You're buying a bottle. You take, you drink a few. You buy the next bottle. I'm sticking with my bottle until it's done, and then I buy the next one. So maybe I'll buy another bottle.
no.
We'll agree on the next bottle to buy, in the next week or so, and then we'll crack that one
Yep.
open and do we'll do a simultaneous test. See what
Yeah,
kind
we'll
of
do some research in
notes,
it, like how we did with.
what the palate is.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, you had notes of vanilla, so it's interesting, right? Like we're both drinking Old
This is
Forester,
delicious.
and you have the signature series, right? And yours has notes of vanilla, and mine is hints of dark chocolate, which is interesting. So that's pretty cool. Like how it's made in the same distillery, but depending on the barrel and depending on all this other stuff, that's pretty
Right.
dope. Well, here you go. Ken got another comment here. Let's see what Ken said. To be honest, Woodford isn't the best whiskey you'll ever sip, but in my opinion, it's the best value for the money. At that price point, we get it at Costco, and it's my favorite. Now, the price point is definitely, listen, the price point
How much
is
was your
definitely
Woodford?
important, right? Because dude, I do not remember. I should probably Google that because I don't even remember where we bought it.
Yeah, this was $20. Now this is a smaller bottle, granted, but yeah, I mean, I can't complain about the value for the money. I mean, as far as the taste of this is right. I would say this Old Forester is above, whatever bottom shelf. It's definitely a step above that for sure.
Yeah, let me see. Pull up the Woodford Reserve because it all depends on the place you buy it from, right?
That's true.
So a total wine, it's $29.99. The Woodford Reserve, the standard. Yeah, that's a great price. That's a great price point for bourbon. Look, you know what's crazy? I bought that $90 bottle of Elijah Craig, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even make my list, bro. I think because I had the expectations that if I'm paying $90 for a bottle of bourbon, it better knock my socks off. So far, Eagle Rare has been the best. I mean, I guess Elijah Craig somewhere on there, but again, like now that I'm tasting different bourbons, I'm starting to understand it a little more, and I'll have to try the Elijah Craig again. But I still think I finished it. So if I finished it, I'm not buying another one because that's still $90. I could buy 3 Woodford Reserves for that price. So my boy Ken over here has the right idea about the price point. So yeah. Ken, if you've tried Old Forester, if you tried Old Forester 1920, let us know what you think, man. And where you're at, because for me, it was $48.99. It's the second most expensive bottle I purchased besides that Elijah Craig.
Bad.
Yeah, and he's right. Look, he comes through again. Exactly. Elijah isn't 3 times better than Woodford Reserve, but it's 3 times the price. 100%
but it comes from the same distillery,
100%.
right? I think it comes from the same distillery as like Buffalo Trace and all these other ones. That's why, like, there are major distilleries throughout the U.S., right? And so, quite a few, bourbons, whiskeys, they all come from the same distillery. So I think that's what it is. You're paying for that brand, that the fact that that history, that it's coming from that distillery where other bourbons come from.
Yep.
So
I think Eagle Rare is also made at Buffalo Trace. I think Buffalo Trace Distillery also makes Eagle Rare. I think I read that today. I could be mistaken, but I feel like I Googled that when I was Googling this Old Forester shit.
Could be. I'm trying to see if I can find some Pappy Van Winkle. Not the bottle. The bottle was like $2,000, maybe more. like a glass, and the
Just like-
glass will
just like a
probably
friend?
be about $100. And
Yeah.
that's not even, and you can't even find that at bars. It's tough.
I've heard Whistle Pig is good, but I've never had it. Again, like I have a friend. I'm getting all my recommendations from my friend Matt. Right.
Mhm.
I've heard Whistle Pig is good, but I saw the price. I was like, I'm not paying $100 for a bottle. Like, especially for a bottle that I might not like. Like, I need that to be like hey man, I'll take a glass. So one day I just have to go to Matt's house and try all his bourbon and take an Uber back home to the middle of fucking nowhere.
That might be the best way to go.
Damn. Yeah, that might be the only way to go because I won't be able to drive back. These shits are strong, bro. Bourbon don't play.
I mean, you're drinking
Speaking
115
of bourbon,
proof.
Speaking of bourbon, John, what'd you think of that T-shirt I designed for our new Teespring store? Bourbon, briskets, and bullshit.
Yeah, it's getting to you, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like it.
bro.
We had that's the alternate design, right? Because there was an argument,
no, we're not talking about
disagreement
that, John.
between
We're both-
between
no.
designers,
Yeah.
between you and the boss.
No. It's, yeah, my wife goes, you ain't putting bitches on that. Look, all right, we can talk about it here. Obviously, it didn't happen. The initial talking shit design was never going to actually happen because I don't think putting bitches on a T-shirt is the best way to go. It was Bergen, brisket, and bitches. And my wife goes, you think that's a good idea? I was like, no, absolutely not. I didn't think it was a good idea. John told me it was a good idea. It was his fault.
Of course, you're gonna blame it on me.
Yeah, he goes, yeah, that's a great idea. Just don't tell my wife I said it was a good idea. That's what happened there, bro.
The guy that always makes the right decision. That's who you're gonna blame it on. Okay.
Hey, listen, man. Bourbon infused came out of my mouth, motherfucker. Let's just understand that. That's the name of the next show, by the way. Episode 176 is gonna be bourbon infused. That's it. It might just be part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We just keep that shit going.
Yeah.
Bro,
we'll make it a series.
Wild. We'll make it a series, especially.
Before we keep going down this rabbit hole, though, of bourbon infused, because we can go on forever. Especially since I have the bottle right next to me. I think we probably need to get into the next segment.
Yeah, let's do it, man. All right. UFC 260. I caught the Bleacher Report highlights. I know most of what happened, right? I know Sugar Sean, which we talked about, should have been the co-main event.
Yeah.
Still made me mad. Commented on Twitter. Shout out to the fact they got 18 likes on that comment. Should not have been Tyron Woodley. They should have moved Tyron Woodley to the headline of the fight night side, right? Like the prelims, and then just moved everybody else up. Tyron Woodley's done. Sorry to say it. It's a wrap. Thank you for your service type shit. You were a fucking monster in your time, but the game's passed you by.
Yo, yeah. Let me pull up the Sean O'Malley highlights. This is a 2-minute video. Hopefully they again, we're just bringing this up for commentary.
Yep. And shit talk.
Fight already happened.
We're a bourbon infused podcast. Anything we say after 3 sips of bourbon, it's kind of all downhill after that.
So
all downhill.
This is terrible. Okay, so let me see if I can bring it up.
Yeah, let's see if you're ready for the screen share. It was in the first round too, right?
No. In the first round, he got him. Let's see. The fight started here, so I'm going to share the screen, see if it comes up.
All right.
Here we go.
Right, here we go.
I don't know how it's going to play, but yeah, I'm not sure if I'm sharing audio, but you might
it's
not
okay
be hearing
if
it.
we're going to talk over it anyway.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Here we go.
Man, he's really fighting long, so that's good.
Yeah, I don't know why it's skipping so much.
Thomas Almeida hasn't been the same since Cody Garbrandt rocked his ass.
Yeah,
that's what ended it. It was 2 undefeated fighters, and then Cody Garbrandt got him. He looks like a shell of him for himself. Is he Brazilian too, Thomas Almeida?
Yeah, he's Brazilian.
Okay.
So you'll see it because
nice
I think this is the first round. You see how he got him right there at that knee and put him down?
Yeah.
He just walked off. He thought the fight was over.
It should have been. That's brain trauma.
Yeah, but I mean, but he was able to get up. No issues. So O'Malley kind of cost himself because I think they ended up going into the second or third round after this. He should have finished him in the first. But
So what did
Almeida
you think?
just,
What was your impression of O'Malley? He's a tough motherfucker, bro. Again, every single person in the octagon could beat our ass. Like, let's just make sure we say that as we're just saying level to level.
Right there, that's where he hurt him. Poof. Look, you see how he casually walked up to him? Like, I'm gonna rewind it because right there, that short left is what hurt him. Put him down, and he doesn't know where he's at, and he hesitated again.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
Oh, they're gonna replay it. Got him with that short left.
He's a little bit,
and he's just like, he didn't want to hurt him because he knew he was out, and the referee just said like, "Hey,
he never goes for it." Yeah, he never wants to go. He's never one person that likes to go the extra shots, right? Take the excessive damage. He's becoming a different level, bro. He's becoming a really different, which is what we talked about, right? Which is why he should have been the co-main.
Yeah, he was never in trouble during that fight. Almeida's tough. I mean, again, he took that knee in the first round. It was a knee and then a left. He put him down, but he was able to somewhat recover because O'Malley didn't go after him. But
right,
he had a huge reach advantage, height advantage. They're just not in the same league. Not that he's not a good fighter, he is, but like you said, he hasn't been the same since that fight with Garbrandt.
He hasn't been
with Cody.
Yeah, I don't think he's been. I don't even know if he's been ranked since that time or if he was ranked going into this fight. But yeah, no, because I think Thomas Almeida came into that shit with coming off knocking out 3 or 4 dudes in a row before that Cody fight, and then Cody got him, and I think it was like a fight night on Fox or some shit. It could have been years ago, and fucking knocked his block off. And after a knockout like that, when you're that cold, it's very hard to get back on it. Like, the only person I know that's done it is Glover Teixeira. Like, Glover Teixeira's got next up against a 205er, and he comes back from getting destroyed by a bunch of fighters, and he's just made his way back through it, and he's like 175 years old.
Yeah, he's getting the next. Is he getting a nod for tried the belt?
Yeah, he's going after it again. This time it's not John Jones.
Yeah.
Are we gonna touch on the Tyron Woodley stuff? I mean, I think I already covered it, but I don't know if that was on here or pre-show.
To tell you the truth, that was a pretty exciting fight. You're right. He's done. I think that's it. That's a wrap on his career. That's 4 straight losses. Now it's not like he hasn't lost to nobodies. Vicente Luque is 28, 29. He's up and coming.
Yep.
He's getting there toward, he's a contender. He's a for real legit contender.
Yes.
And Tyron came out. Yeah, Tyron came out aggressive, unlike what he usually does. Like, I've seen his fights when he was defending his belt early on, 2016, 17, 18. And he was he was what Usman is now. Like, he was a killer. If he had you, he would go after you. And he came out. His last 2 fights he's been hesitant. He's thrown like 10 total punches in his previous 3 bouts, I think.
Yep.
He came out last night and he came out aggressive, attacking immediately. I thought he had Luque in a bit of trouble at the beginning.
Luque keeps coming, man. He's like a Mexican zombie, bro.
That chin
keeps coming.
is and look, I thought Luque was Brazilian too, just like all these other guys.
Yeah,
he's Mexican. I thought he was Brazilian, but yeah, that chin just holds up.
Let me see.
And
please hold.
Tyron made a huge mistake because Luque rocked like. I was excited. I thought he was gonna pull it off. I really thought he was, but if you didn't have a chance to watch during the fight, he was loading up. He was just loading up on shots.
Brazilian. You're right, Brazilian. I was mistaken.
Yeah. Tyron was loading up on every single shot. I mean, he was connecting, but every shot he was loading up, and so he just kept opening himself up, and that's what Luque did. Like, Tyron Woodley came in. I think it was a left himself exposed, and then Luque, he was just waiting. He said, "Oh, he got my chin. He got me. He thought he rocked me, so he kept coming after me, overly aggressive. I noticed that he was overly aggressive and kind of leaving himself open. And I just waited for that chance. And
that's that pressure, though, right? That's that pressure of 3 straight losses.
Absolutely, that's what caused him to load up and come after him. Being aggressive is good, but I think that, like you said, that pressure, he needed that win. He had to have this win because he knew that if not, then that would be the end of his career, or he'd be headlining fight nights. There would be no more pay-per-views for him.
Yeah, or Bellator, right? Because there's that chance. Yeah, where they look 170 stacked, right? You have Kobe Covington, you have George Masvidal, you have still got Gilbert Burns, even though he just lost to Usman. Like it's stacked. You gotta sometimes you gotta let the old dog go to let the new wolves come through.
Yeah, man. And Usman, don't forget about Usman, the champion. Like you said, Burns lost, but if you saw that fight between Burns and Usman, he rocked him.
They went to war.
He had him in trouble. And Burns, like he talked about it at the end of the post-fight interview that he, the mistake that he made. He should have finished him. I thought that was it for Usman, but it's stacked. It's tough. And Woodley had his run. He was a great champion, and he was champ from 2016 to 18 or 19, whenever Kamaru Usman defeated him.
I think it was 18. I think it was like late 18 when Usman defeated him. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't watch that fight either.
It's tough.
I should have.
Yeah,
because there was that part where
on top for that long.
Yeah, it's tough. Look, you have, and Cody, listen, we don't know what it's like to be a UFC champion. We don't know what it's like to be in the UFC, right? But so I'm just gonna regurgitate what Cody Garbrandt said on the Rogan podcast. He goes, when you get there, and it's like sometimes it's all cracked up to be, but there's also that pressure of being the champion, having all these media responsibilities. The old saying, heavy is the head that wears the crown. But like when you get there and it's not all you wanted, and not everybody likes you, because not a lot of people were like going out of their way to see Tyron Woodley fights, because when he got to the belt, he didn't do everything that he did to get to the belt. He like changed up. So once he did that, he wasn't as exciting. Like those 2 Stephen Thompson fights, you know what I mean? Except for moments, that tarnished.
There were moments.
Dana White, and Dana White shitting on him after, like, oh, Tyron Woodley only threw 6 punches or whatever the fuck, because he's standing back, and he just kept that same game plan ever since. Because he acted like he was always fighting a karate star fighter. But look, he had a great run. He was a champion. It's a handful of people that can say they've been that. So kudos to him, and move on to the next thing, bro. You got family, you got kids. Don't keep getting brain trauma, man. Take care of yourself.
Yeah, man,
that's what I'm always an advocate for.
He was and is a great champion, ex-champion now. He's great. I like him when he was in I think it was for Fox Sports doing commentary.
Yep. Great analyst. Yeah,
he set himself up to be an analyst and to have that career post-fighting, which a lot of guys don't do because they don't have the ability. The brain trauma has gotten to them. I mean, we talk about Max Holloway all the time, we were having this conversation a couple of years ago, and I think he was 25 at the time. So Max might be 28, 29 now. But because he's been in the game for so long, that when he was having an interview with on ESPN last year, I thought he was drunk, or I thought he was suffering from brain trauma because he was slurring all his words. He kind of his eyes were shifting. It seemed like he didn't quite know where he was at, and that's scary for a 20 at the time 25, 26-year-old guy to be going through that. And he's got a kid. And, he's got a kid. He's got family. It's just like you just got to hang it up at some point. He's made the money. Yeah. So good for Woodley, man. Good for Tyron Woodley that he can move on and do that, because I like him as an analyst. I like him on Fox or whatever back and forth they have with I think it's Michael Chiesa and whoever else they have on there on Fox. So
what I don't want to see with Tyron Woodley is him holding on too long, right? I hope he has like a out package ready to go. You know what I mean? Has some plans, has some shit to do. Like he has a couple of rap songs out, like he had with Snoop and shit like that. And I hope he has that stuff ready to go and he's ready to move on, because brain trauma doesn't come back, bro. Your brain doesn't regenerate unless they found some miracle in weed or some shit to make those synapses start firing again. You gotta be mindful of that, man. Every punch you take. Speaking of brain trauma, Jonathan Vallejo.
Sometimes if I drink enough.
Miocic, bro. Stipe Miocic, man. The greatest heavyweight of all time, regardless.
I think so. Yeah.
Unless John Jones unless John Jones wins 10 straight. Then what John Jones is already cemented in his own right. Lost last night. I don't like. You know what I don't want to do? Like, I don't want to like make him a meme or like embellish how hard. Like we knew what the possibilities were, right? Like if Francis stuffed the takedown, it was over. And
Absolutely.
Francis stuffed the takedown.
You know what's crazy is
You
that,
saw it. So,
yeah, man. Look, let's go back to 2018 when they fought. Francis Ngannou came into the UFC in 2015, 2016. He got to the title in 2018. Really didn't have a lot of experience at that time. Maybe 4 years of like fighting, training, mixed martial arts.
Yep.
Right.
And only hitting people in the face.
And only hitting people in the face. Right. His story was, I think he came from Cameroon. He worked in the mines. He ended up going to Spain. He was homeless. He was in jail. Then he went to France. And then he walks into a gym and some guy sees him and he's like the perfect specimen. They're like, yeah, we're going to do something with you.
Did you see the video of Cameroon reacting to him winning the title?
No, I didn't. But I could imagine that they were going fucking batshit crazy. So anyway, so that was a story in like a 20-second soundbite. So 2018, he wasn't ready. Like everyone knew that he had the power of a fucking semi truck, right? If you got touched by Stipe, or not by Stipe, by Ngannou, by Francis, you were done. We saw what he did to Overeem. We've seen what he's done to everyone that he's fought. And he fought Stipe. They went the distance. It was a decision. Stipe dominated that fight because Ngannou, after the first round, maybe 2 rounds, he was done. He wasn't used to going out of the first round. Hell, he wasn't used to probably leaving the first 2 or 3 minutes of the first round. And he had nothing but power, right? He couldn't wrestle. There was no jiu-jitsu. There was just, I'm going to come at you. And he did that. And Stipe was able to weather that storm. And the fact, he got hit. Ngannou hits almost any other fighter with the type of punches that he hit Stipe with in 2018, and they're out. He puts their lights out.
100%.
And
100%.
and he did the same thing. This fight, they were more measured this fight. He didn't come out aggressive because he had more training. His coaching staff, he had new coaches. They worked on grappling, they worked on wrestling, they worked on staying calm. He had Kamaru Usman in his corner, to reminding him to stay calm, to slow down. Yeah. So he had him in the corner talking to him, and he didn't come out rushing him. He came out measured, trying to measure distance, trying to pick his spots. And I got to give Stipe credit because he did connect, and he connected early in the first round. And we're talking about that stuffing that takedown from Stipe because Stipe got rocked. He felt it. He wasn't wobbly, but he felt it. And so when he saw the takedown, he went for it. And in 2018, Ngannou doesn't know this. He wouldn't do this, and he didn't because he got taken down constantly in 2018
repeatedly
in that fight. And so what happens? All he did was sprawl. It's basic technique. He sprawled, put all his weight, on those hips, and came down on Stipe. And Stipe had to carry his weight, and immediately he transitioned to take Stipe's back. And when he took Stipe's back, they were up against the cage. He got him with I want to say 6, 7, 8, just rights and lefts. And you would think that these are like rabbit punches. No, man, this dude is unloading. I know he's not able to really load up and give everything, but it doesn't take a lot from that man. And the reason we know it doesn't take a lot because the punch that put Stipe out was a fucking jab. He was hopping into his jab. It wasn't even an overhand right. It was a jab that put Stipe down on the ground.
Did you see the still of when that punch connected to Stipe's face? Look, like I said, we're not gonna put it on here because that's not what we're not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like respect to a GOAT.
Yeah.
And because we like him, right? Because if we didn't like him and if he was a GOAT, we shit all over him. Let's just be completely honest about this. Right? Like if we didn't like, we'd have the fucking background would be that person's face. Right? Like this shit right here around us would just be that person's fucking
Yeah.
So that seeing that stuff, I was like, when he knocked him out, I was like, he didn't even catch him clean. You know what I'm saying? Like it just seemed like it was in the transition and he just caught him. And Stipe fell back all weird. But it was fucking, I was like, okay, I kind of expected it in 2018. I tell you what, I expected what Ngannou did to Stipe a lot more than I expected what Stipe did to Ngannou in 2018. Does that make sense? Because nobody did that to Ngannou, right? Like how y'all wrestled him and outworked him. Ngannou just if Ngannou hit you one time, your life was over. You have to thank your kids and your wife for, you know what I mean, for taking the time and understanding that you were gone for 8 weeks for this to happen. You know what I mean? That whole speech after the fact, like, you know, I trained really hard, but hey, he just caught me. Like you just know, or you're in the hospital and you talk to Ariel Hawani on Wednesday. But like that dude, I just saw. So I went on Twitter real quick as we were doing this because I was trying to find that video because I don't remember if it was on ESPN or ESPN MMA, where they show the video of like people watching the fight at like at a bar, but everybody was outside in the camera room, and like it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, and when he knocks them out, everybody starts going crazy, like they just won the World Cup. You know what I mean? And then I'm scrolling through ESPN MMA. And they have a picture of the 3 champs, 170, 185, and the heavyweight are all African.
Yep.
Yeah. That's fucking dope, bro. That's fucking dope, man. Because that opens up, you know what I mean? Everybody in, you know what I mean? Everybody in those countries, there's going to be people don't understand the effect that has on countries, because then there's going to be scouts that are going to go there, right? Trainers that are going to go there, like, oh, maybe try to find the next Francis Ngannou. The possibilities from these poor, impoverished countries, you know what I mean, to have the ability to become a UFC champion. Gyms are going to open up, jobs open up. Like that type of stuff is the stuff you don't know about and you don't see unless you're super embedded in it. You know, but just seeing it and understanding, being an immigrant and having that mentality, that changes an entire landscape. You have 3 champions in the top promotion in the world as African descent. That's fucking massive, bro. Fucking massive. Got a little teary-eyed from you.
No, and that happens with every industry, but obviously, like, you know, I think of MLB and baseball where they have these academies in, well, I don't know if they have it in Venezuela anymore, but you talk about the Dominican, Puerto Rico, it was in Venezuela. And these kids, you know, in the Dominican, they grew up playing with like rocks and broomsticks. And then these scouts pick them up and they go play for the academy in the Dominican. And then from there, they make it to the major leagues. Like, this is something that if it's not existing, or if they don't have existing an infrastructure, it opens the doors to that. Because like you said, there's 3 champions now from these 3. Well, I think 2 are Nigerian, right? It's Usman and Adesanya are both Nigerian. And then we got Francis
Ngannou. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's
for
big.
The continent of Africa.
Yeah, that's big. So hopefully that opens up, like, it opens up people's eyes. And obviously, from a business perspective, they're gonna be like, you know what? There's something to this. I mean, Ngannou, who just a physical specimen, no athlete, no athletic, no fighting experience, nothing, and he walks into a gym like that. You think a trainer, like, I think it was like Rogan said it yesterday, a guy like that walks into your gym without having been in the gym, having done anything before. You don't think that they're gonna, like, I think we could figure something out to do with you. We'll figure something out. You'll succeed in some kind of sport.
My issue with the business side of it, right? And purely just speaking on the UFC side, I think they do a poor job of promoting these kind of fighters, right? They did it with they struggled with it with Tyron Woodley, you know, kind of left him off to like his own devices and do his own promotion. There's no, like, what you could do with Kamaru Usman is otherworldly, right? What you could do with Israel Adesanya, even though he's coming off a loss, is otherworldly. Like the personality he is, like how big he is into anime. You know what I mean? It's how they failed with Demetrius Johnson, how big he is with gaming, right? They never put a focus on those type of things. Now, look, I'm not going to say what the similarities are, but they're obvious, right? Because let's go back to our podcast that we did Thursday, right? How hyped were we for this? How much promotion did we see, John?
No promotion. That was a problem we talked about, right? Like, we were talking about UFC 262, and we're like, oh shit, there's a UFC 260 coming up.
Yeah. Like that's, and again, it's not, and I could put, so fucked up to say like this, I could put Stipe in that same boat because they never promoted him. right? A lot of that was off the basis of other fighters, because like it was just like the want to see him fall because he's not the shit talker. You know, he goes in there and gets the work done.
Well, there's
He's a
that. There's
fucking,
the three guys that we're talking about: Usman and Ngannou and Adesanya. That they could be doing so much more. Just like you said, they screwed up with Demetrius, and he went over to one, and they have a different philosophy at one championship too, right? Like they want the good guys there, the family guys, the wholesome fighters. So they're not all into like the shit talking, the Kobe Covington and Conor McGregor. That's not their thing. So they screwed up with that. And so the fact that he went over there, and obviously they're in Asia and Japan, and he's big into gaming.
Gaming is huge.
He's doing his thing. He's doing his thing. They could take advantage of that over here, and they just don't. For whatever reasons, Stipe doesn't fall into that category that we were talking about, but he's not
different category.
A different category. He's not the shit talker. He's not outspoken. He's not flashy. He just says what he says when he's asked. It's like I'm the champ, and I expect to be the champ when the fight's over. And that's about it. And they don't like that. That's not, but he should have learned. He could have made more money. He doesn't sell tickets. I mean, you got to remember too, Mayweather, I'm switching sports, but Mayweather wasn't that. He switched. He created that whole persona. He went from like Pretty Boy Floyd to Money Mayweather, Money Team, and everything else. And he created that persona.
Like, fight.
He created that, which is what McGregor really. That I think McGregor must have taken from that, obviously, because
100%.
Mayweather is the one that created that whole environment. And now Mayweather's a genius because he promoted his own fights. He didn't have to pay promoters. They didn't take any of his cut. So he's on a different level. But Mayweather made the adjustment. Stipe didn't, which is why, they're not even talking about a rubber match. They're talking about John Jones or Derek Lewis. I'm like, what about Stipe, who's the champ, who's defended that shit multiple times? No rematch, no trilogy to determine who the real champ is.
They're gonna do him like Junior Dos Santos. They're gonna do him like Junior Dos Santos after he lost the title fight. Just like, hey, he's not good for business anymore. Which I get, right? Like obviously, the casuals and the fans would want to see the John Jones thing, but that's why I think Stipe should walk away too. Like it's that feeling of no respect, because it's almost like if you don't do your own promotion, they get mad at you and punish you, even though they're literally the promotion company, right? Like it's their job to sell a fight. They get mad at you because you didn't do a good job of selling. What the fuck is the point of you, bitch? Like I have to figure out how I get paid from your basis, from your opinion of my performance. I also have to do my own promotion, grow my own social media. When I'm your independent contractor, because you won't put me on. Like don't even get me started on the UFC issue, bro.
Well, here's the thing with the UFC, right? The UFC is not like the boxing has promoters, and every fighter, multiple fighters fall under a promoter. Like Dana White in the UFC is the one promoter. That's it.
Yes, for all those fighters.
And then fighters have managers, and they try to work out whatever terms for their contracts for their fights with Dana White, and that's it. But the one promoter is Dana White, and he's promoting the UFC, and then they figure out the talent and how the talent fits and what fights make the most sense or the most money, right? That's what we're talking about.
For sure.
So he doesn't have the fighter's best interest in mind, and Stipe, because we got away from talking about the fight. He got put down twice. He got rocked with that jab, stood up, and he needed to recover. I'm rubbing my forehead.
Reaction. That's a hurtful reaction.
Because
when you feel bad,
he got up and Ngannou didn't try to go after him. And so I was like, all right, you got time to recover. This was in the second round. I was like, all right, you got time to recover. What did Stipe do? Like he got back in there because he's a champ. He's a fighter. He got back in there and he connected with a right that kind of stunned Ngannou, who was coming. It looked like he was coming forward. Like in the post-fight interview, Ngannou said he was backing up, so he didn't really hurt him. But it looked like he was going to start to come forward. Stipe connected, stopped Ngannou a little bit. And so he thought he hurt him, so he kept coming. But the thing is, Stipe hadn't recovered. He was still on wobbly legs. So after he connected with that right, he got in even closer. And what happened? Another left, like a short hook with that left hand, which is what put his lights out. And then he fell like so awkwardly. I was thinking like, damn, he fucked up his ankle, tore his ACL, all sorts of stuff. When you see that, you know what I'm talking about. You sent me the picture. I saw the fight and I saw the replay. It was concerning. And the bottom line is this. What everyone thought Ngannou could be, he's there. Not quite there, but Do you see the adjustments to having a new team, a new coach, practicing those skills that you didn't have, and actually learning like MMA? Yep. So basic things: being able to sprawl, being able to take someone's back when you have the opportunity, being patient, not exposing yourself. Stipe, I don't think Stipe can compete. I don't think he can compete because what's he going to do? Just take his time with Ngannou? If you do that, then Ngannou's not going to get tired, and he's just going to pick his moments to explode, back out, and then just do that for 5 rounds.
Because all it takes is one. All it takes is one from Ngannou.
Yeah, and that was a jab that put him down. A fucking jab.
Yeah, like a sloppy one too. It was like in transition. Like it wasn't like a clear punch. So it's the chance for Stipe to beat him was in 2018. You can't. He's only gonna get better. He's only gonna improve. Look, 2018 he got there with pure athleticism and the freakish strength that he has. Now he has technique, understanding, pace, timing, and now he's got Kamaru Usman in his corner, bro, all day.
You're right. Let's bring that John Jones fight. Stipe, great champ. Yeah. Don't come back. Not because I don't want to see you fight, because you were a great champ. Like you, dude. Yep. Those punches that he took, from Ngannou when Ngannou had his back, would have put anyone else out. He's got a hell of a chin. He's got incredible durability, but he's 38 and he is past his prime. I think. Hopefully, he's made all the money that he could make. Again, it comes down to protecting your health, being there for your family. He's got a job with the fire department. Like just think about the future, man. Like you were a champ. You defended the title more than anyone has ever and probably will ever, because that weight, that division is so it's not that it's so stacked, but like all it takes is one punch. Doesn't matter how good you are, you know.
Yeah, the cost and the risk is very high.
Yeah, so the fact that he was able to defend the title as many times as he did, I think he should move on, man. I think he did what he needed to accomplish in that sport, and I want to see Ngannou punch John Jones lights out.
There's that part of it, right? Where you really want to see John Jones get knocked the fuck out, right? Like, I'm rooting for that heavy. Like, I was talking to my wife, I was like, that's probably the next fight. She's like, we're not paying for that. We're not giving John Jones any money. I was like, but what if he gets knocked the fuck out? And she's like, maybe.
But also,
because it's probably. Go ahead.
John Jones would have known what to do. Like Stipe made some mistakes too. I think he also felt he had a little bit of pressure against Ngannou. John Jones has wrestling, has other things. I think he would have known what to do.
John Jones is a complete fighter. Like his shitty personality and humanity aside, he's a complete fighter, right? But absolutely. I think you have to be a little sociopathic the way he is. You know what I mean? All the drugs and all that shit. Yeah. To be the level he's at. I think Khabib rules in that too, but like that's just he channels his sociopathy, I guess, into just wrestling and murdering you in the octagon, not actually hurting pregnant women outside of it, because he seems like an amazing family man. But yeah, real quick, last thing. Last thing.
I was gonna say, on that note, let's move on.
On that note, let's move on. Queen of the South, man. The South, not the South.
The South. Look at that. You're getting that accent already.
The South. Listen, man. El Sur, La Reina del Sur. Listen, bro. This show on Netflix. I'm like 5 episodes in.
Which one?
You haven't seen it.
The one from USA Network?
Yeah, the one from USA Network. I haven't seen La Reina del Sur. I'm going to watch that next. Shout out to the fact that woman, the actress in that show, met El Chapo for real.
Yeah, she did.
With Champagne. He fucking fell in love with her because she was on some other novela. And then I think after that, I might have my timeline wrong. Then after that, started filming La Reina del Sur, or like while that show was on. I have to figure out exactly when it was that El Chapo escaped from prison. But the Queen of the USA version is fucking good, bro. Listen, back to the representation with like that we were talking about, the Kamaru Usman, Israel Adesanya, and Francis Ngannou. Just seeing people who look like me, given. These are all likely Mexican. I'm not Mexican. I'm Panamanian and Cuban.
Yep.
But just seeing Latinos on the screen speaking Spanish, it makes me feel good, bro. Like I was talking with Danny earlier, and he was talking about Narcos, right? Because he's from Colombia.
You and I have talked about that. I hate that. I can't watch Narcos.
Yeah, I don't know, but he likes it because like they actually filmed it in Colombia, and you get to see Colombia. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I was on that street, like that side of it. Look, it's not a
Talking
real
about Danny,
representation.
sneaker Danny.
Yeah, Sneaker Danny. Yeah, there's only one Danny. I know 17,000 on you motherfucking Jonathans. There's only one Danny. That's it.
No, so that's awesome.
Him and Danny Green are the only ones I know.
Yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off about Narcos. I'm glad that Danny likes it because there are Latinos in that show, right? The problem that I have with it is that I saw a Colombian show about Escobar, and it was called, God damn it, El Patrón del Mal. So like El Patrón, which is what they called him, right? So it's about him, but it's all Colombian actors because they're all fucking Colombians, right? Unless like they were like Mexican drug dealers in the scenes or whatever, or in the episodes, and I think they had Mexican actors, but they're all Colombian actors. The problem I have with Narcos, and I heard all these great things about it, is that I started watching the first episode after I saw that entire like it was 100+ episodes of this Colombian El Patrón del Mal series of Escobar, and they have like a Chilean guy playing Escobar. So like they have these. No, they have, or not even. Like, I think they had like an American guy that's trying to speak Spanish. Like, I'm like, what are we doing right now? We have Argentina and Chileans. We have an American dude playing Escobar or Escobar's brother. I can't even remember because I didn't finish the episode. I was so upset that they try to pull that bullshit. I was like, I can't do this. I'm not gonna listen to an Argentinian or a white dude play Escobar. Like, come on, guys, you could do better. You could do better. So I quit.
I would never listen to it. I would never listen to an Argentinian about anything. Sorry, it's not something we do here. We might be bourbon infused, but we're semi anti-Argentina. You know what I mean? Like that's just
except for Messi, but that's it.
Yeah, we'll go with Messi. I can't think of another. Yeah, but it's still not Ronaldo. You know what I mean? But Queen of the South, man. If you haven't seen it, if you've seen La Reina del Sur, it'll probably be hard to watch Queen of the South. You know what I mean? Because obviously the Mexican version is going to be better, right? Because it's going to be all authentic actors and all that shit. But it's good, man. I highly recommend it. It's a good little binge. I'm only on like episode 5. Who knows if I continue it? But like the story they're telling is like this girl starting from the bottom to like make it to the top.
Yeah, I saw season 2 actually on my road trip last year. You know, when we went to visit you went to Cali. So I guess she's my niece-in-law, my wife's niece. Her and her husband, they were watching it, and so she's like, "You gotta watch this. You gotta watch this. Is awesome. Let's start from the first season." I don't know. I'll jump in. You guys are on season 2. Let's just keep watching season 2, and it was good. I just never got back into it because I had I didn't want to start another show when I'm already watching some shows here, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Like, Plus, I'll get on the computer and write stuff for the website that I'm working on, and it's like I don't have time. I'll finish one show, just like I finish one bottle of whiskey, and then I'll move on to the next.
I got you. I appreciate the not binging. Shout out to the fact that your website got hacked, then I had to recover it. I did not realize our website got hacked too. No, our website's gone. The mancheddarpodcast.com, that shit's gone. That shit's bye-bye. I'm saying like the t-shirts and stuff. I closed down Printify, and now we're purely Teespring. Just like I don't want it, like because it was associated with that website, I closed it down. I was like, I don't want my information out there like that. So I deleted all my data. So we're good. I'm gonna order some samples. You got the website, right? Like the info, like the login and password and shit.
Yeah.
So order some samples and let's see what these new samples are like. But yeah, man, I got nothing else. Shout out to the fact that we thought we were only going to talk for 30 minutes, and we went an hour and 9. It's always, dude, like you can't plan this shit, man.
I blame it on you.
Yeah, you fucking right. Bourbon infused. I'm probably gonna go jump up out of here and go watch some spring baking championships with my wife. She's a big fan of that. So, my brother, I will holler. An hour and 9 minutes and 40 seconds. You got anything else for the people?
Peace. I'm out.
Okay, don't. I hate when you do that. All right, guys. Till next time. Peace.
I already told you I do whatever. Don't mute my mic. I do what I want.